How did one sentence I said at a restaurant end with a stranger handing me papers in a busy lobby? What kind of husband stays calm, smiles, and still makes the court say my debt is mine? I thought I was the prize, until the numbers were read out loud. My name is Orual Bennett, and I knew how to live in a way that made people look twice. I worked in medical billing. It was not a fancy job, but it paid steady. I told myself that steady was not enough. I wanted more than enough. I wanted a life that looked expensive, even on a normal Tuesday. That morning, I stood in our kitchen and watched Ethan make coffee like it was a serious job. He moved slow and calm. He always did. He wore an old hoodie, and he did not care how it looked. I cared too much. I still think caring is not a crime. He asked what I wanted for breakfast. I said I was fine. He asked if we could talk about the bills. I said it was too early for stress. He said it was not stress, it was planning. I said planning was just a nicer word for saying no. I looked at the counter. 2 mugs sat there. Mine was clean and bright. His was plain and chipped. I noticed how he set his mug farther away from mine, like it mattered. I told myself he was doing it to make me feel guilty. I did not like feeling guilty. I liked feeling right. He asked why I bought another dress last week. I said it was for work events. He said my work did not have events. I said he did not understand my world. He said he understood numbers. I said numbers were not the same as life. He opened his phone and showed me our bank app. He said the balance was lower than it should be. I said the balance was always lower because he was always watching it. He said he was watching it because it was our money. I said it was my life too, and I had needs. That is when I said the line that later followed me everywhere. I told him he could not afford my lifestyle. I did not shout. I said it like a fact, like weather. I expected him to argue. I expected him to beg me to stay happy. I expected him to prove himself. He blinked like I slapped him, but I did not touch him. He asked if I really believed that. I said I was just being honest. He said honesty without kindness was still cruel. I said cruelty was refusing to grow. He asked what my lifestyle even meant. I said it meant not living like we were scared. He said it sounded like living like we were blind. I said he was twisting my words. He said he was repeating them. I hated how calm he was. When he got calm, I felt like I was losing control. I liked being the one who decided what reality was. I did that in small ways. I picked which stories got told, and how. I put on makeup in the hallway mirror. I picked a coat that looked expensive. I did not do it for Ethan. I did it for the world. Ethan watched me and asked where I was going. I said I had errands. He asked why the errands needed heels. I said because I liked them. He asked if we could set a budget together tonight. I said maybe. He said maybe sounded like no. I said he was being negative. He said he was being careful. I said careful people missed out. As I grabbed my purse, I saw his phone light up on the table. A calendar reminder popped up for a second. It said, downtown 10:40 a.m. He turned the screen down fast. He did not explain. He did not have to. He was allowed to have a calendar. Still, it pricked me. It felt like he had a plan and I was not in it. I told myself it was probably a work meeting. I told myself I did not care. I did care. I just did not want to admit it. I drove to the mall because the mall made me feel safe. In the mall, no one asked about my bank balance. They asked what size I wanted. They asked if I preferred gold or silver. They spoke to me like I was important. I liked that. In the boutique, a saleswoman smiled at me like we were friends. She asked if I wanted to try the new arrivals. I said yes. I held up a jacket and pictured myself walking into any room and owning it. I did not picture the bill. My phone buzzed. It was a message preview from Grant. He worked with a vendor that visited our office sometimes. He always had a joke ready. He always acted like my taste was rare. He asked if I found what I wanted today. I said I was looking. He said I deserved the best. I told myself it was just friendly. I told myself friendly was harmless. I tried on the jacket anyway. It fit like a promise. I looked at my reflection and thought, this is who I am. Then I thought, Ethan should want this for me. If he did not, then he did not want me. That logic felt clean in my head. It made me feel justified. At the register, the saleswoman asked if I wanted to put it on our joint card. I said yes, like it was nothing. She tapped the screen and asked if I wanted to apply for the store card too, because it had benefits. She said I could save money today. I liked the sound of saving money while spending it. She asked for my income and my monthly housing cost. I hesitated. My face stayed calm, but my stomach tightened. I typed numbers that made me look stable. They were not fully true, but they were not fully false either. I told myself everyone rounds up. I told myself it was the system's fault for asking. A minute later, an email hit my phone. Thanks for applying. My heart jumped, like I won a game. I walked out with a bag and a receipt, and I felt taller. In the parking lot, I called Ethan and put on a soft voice. He asked if I spent more money. I said I bought something practical. He asked what was practical about a boutique bag. I said confidence was practical. He said confidence did not pay interest. I said he was being dramatic. He asked if I heard myself when I talked. I said yes, and I sounded like someone with standards. He said standards were not the same as demands. I said he was trying to make me feel small. He said he was trying to keep us safe. I drove home with the bag on the passenger seat like a trophy. When I walked in, Ethan was at the hallway desk. I heard a small click, like a drawer locking. He looked up and asked how my day was. I said it was productive. He looked at the bag and said nothing. I went to the kitchen and set the bag down on the chair. I waited for him to react. I wanted him to snap, because snapping would prove he was the problem. But he did not snap. He just stared at the counter, then at me, then away. He asked if we could talk later. I said I was tired. He said okay, like he was filing the word away. I watched him walk down the hall, calm and steady, and for the first time that day, the house felt too quiet for my lifestyle. The next day at work, I walked in like nothing happened. I wore the boutique jacket because it made me feel untouchable. The office was open plan, bright and loud with small talk. People there loved stories. I learned that early. If you told a story first, you owned the room. Sophie at the front desk asked if I was okay. I said I was great. She said I looked stressed yesterday. I said she imagined it. She asked if Ethan was still being strict about money. I said he was acting like my dad. She laughed in a careful way, like she did not want trouble. At my desk, I opened my computer and logged into the billing system. Then I opened a spreadsheet too. It was not even about money. I just liked seeing columns. It made me feel like I was in control. I told myself that if Ethan loved numbers so much, then I could love them too. I just loved different numbers. Grant showed up around mid-morning with a vendor badge on his lanyard and a coffee in his hand. He walked past other desks like he belonged there. He stopped by mine like it was normal. He asked how my day was going. I said it was busy. He said busy people were important people. I smiled. He asked if I liked my new jacket. I said it was just something I picked up. He said it looked expensive in a good way. I told myself that hearing that was harmless. I told myself Ethan should talk like that if he wanted me to feel seen. Grant leaned closer to look at a form on my screen, but I knew he was not really looking at the form. He asked if I was free after work. I said I had plans. He asked if the plans were with my husband. I said my husband did not like going out. He said that sounded lonely. I said I was used to it. I did not say I felt lonely. I did not like that word. Lonely sounded weak. I preferred to say underappreciated. That sounded like a problem someone else caused. Around lunch, my phone buzzed. Ethan asked what time I would be home. I read it and waited on purpose. Then I replied that I did not know yet. He asked if we could talk tonight. I said sure, but I added a smiling face so it looked light. I liked keeping things light. Light meant no blame could stick to me. Later, my manager, Carol, walked by and paused. She asked if I could step into HR for a quick word. She said it in a polite voice, but it was not a friendly invitation. It was a door-closing sound. In the HR room, Carol sat with a small folder on the table. No one showed me any papers. She just looked at her screen and asked about my timesheets. She asked why I wrote late shift on 2 days when my badge scan showed I left earlier. I said the badge scan system was unreliable. She asked if I had proof. I said I did not think I needed proof for every small thing. She asked if I was having trouble at home. I said my husband was stressing me out. I said he worried about money too much, and it spilled into everything. Carol nodded like she was listening, but her eyes stayed flat. She said the company needed accurate time records. I said I understood. Then I made my voice soft and said I was dealing with a controlling situation. I watched her face change a little. That is what I wanted. I wanted her to see me as a victim of a man who did not let me breathe. It felt safer than being seen as the person who made bad choices. When I got back to my desk, Sophie asked if I was okay. I said HR was just doing checks. She asked if Ethan called my workplace again. I said yes, even though he did not. I made it sound like he was always watching me. I told myself I was not lying. I was describing his energy. Grant texted me a few minutes later and asked if I wanted to get a drink at the rooftop bar near the office. I said I could not, because my husband would complain. He replied that grown women did not need permission. I stared at that line longer than I should have. After work, I walked to the rooftop bar with Grant and 2 co-workers, Janelle and a guy from marketing. I told myself it was a group thing. Group meant it was safe. Group meant I could say it was normal. The rooftop bar had string lights and loud music. People laughed like they did not have responsibilities. Grant ordered drinks like he knew the menu by heart. Janelle took photos the whole time. She asked if I wanted to post. I said yes because I looked good. She asked if I wanted to tag Ethan as a joke. I said no, but I let her write a caption about never settling. My phone buzzed again. Ethan asked if I was still at work. I said yes. He asked if I could call him. I said I was in a meeting. I knew it was not true. I also knew he could not prove it in that moment. That made me feel powerful. Janelle asked why I looked annoyed. I said my husband did not trust me. She said that was a red flag. I said I knew. I said he was insecure because he could not give me the life I deserved. Saying it out loud felt good, like I was building a wall around myself. Grant asked if Ethan always acted like this. I said yes, and I added that Ethan got weird about money. Grant said money was not the point if you loved someone. I said exactly. I liked how he spoke. It matched my story. When I finally got home, the house was dark except for the kitchen light. Ethan sat at the table with his laptop open. He did not raise his voice. He asked what time it was. I said I lost track. He asked if work really kept me that late. I said yes, and I acted tired. He asked if I could show him the work message that kept me. I said he was interrogating me. He said he was asking a question. I said his questions were always accusations. He asked if we could sit and go over the budget. I said not tonight. He said we could pick another night. I said he was obsessed. He said he was worried. I said he was embarrassing. He stood up and rinsed his mug. Then he set it on the far side of the counter. My mug stayed on the other side. The space between them looked like a line he did not want to cross. I went to the hallway and hung my jacket. As I passed the desk, I saw a sticky note near the drawer. It only said, "Bring forms." Ethan was in the kitchen, and he did not turn around. I told myself it was probably work stuff. Still, my chest tightened, like the house was starting to hold secrets that were not mine. We had brunch on Saturday because Janelle said we needed a reset. She said a nice place could fix a bad week. I agreed because a nice place made me feel like I was winning. The cafe had white chairs, big windows, and plates that looked like art. People there talked loud so everyone could hear who they were. Ethan came because I told him it would look good. I said couples should be seen together. He asked why being seen mattered so much. I said it was part of being a strong team. He said a team did not need an audience. I said he did not understand how life worked now. Janelle arrived first and hugged me like I was the brave one. She asked if Ethan was behaving. I said he was trying, but he was stubborn. She looked at him and smiled like she was greeting a coworker she did not like. Ethan nodded and said hello in a normal voice. He always acted normal in public. That made it harder to paint him as the bad guy, so I had to work harder. 2 other friends joined, plus Janelle's boyfriend. Everyone ordered fancy drinks. Ethan ordered coffee. Janelle asked why he never treated himself. He said coffee was fine. I laughed and said he acted like we were in survival mode. He asked why I needed to mock him. I said I was teasing. The food came, and I started telling stories. I talked about my job. I talked about how hard it was to manage everything. I said Ethan added pressure because he watched every dollar. Janelle asked if he had some secret plan. I said his plan was always no. Ethan asked if I could stop talking about money like it was a joke. I said it was not a joke, it was a fact. Janelle asked how much my jacket cost, like it was a fun game. I said it was not expensive if you knew how to shop. Ethan looked at the plate, not at me. I felt annoyed at his quiet. Quiet made me look loud. Ethan asked if we could talk later in private. I said we could, but I said it with a smile like he was being dramatic. Janelle said a husband should make his wife happy. I said that was what I kept telling him. Ethan asked why my happiness always had a price tag. I said because happiness was comfort, and comfort cost money. I could see people at other tables glance over. I liked that. I liked being the woman with a story. I liked having friends who nodded at the right parts. I did not like Ethan's steady face. He did not look angry enough. He did not look guilty enough. He looked like he was watching and remembering. After brunch, we went outside for photos. Janelle stood me near a wall with flowers and told Ethan to stand a little behind. She said it would look balanced. I let her do it. Ethan asked why he had to stand back. I said it was just the angle. Janelle posted the photo right away and tagged me. She wrote something about women who know their worth. I shared it. I did not tag Ethan. On the drive home, Ethan asked why I needed those posts. I said it was harmless. He asked if I wanted to make him look small. I said he made himself look small by acting like money was scary. He said money was not scary, but debt was. I said he was overreacting. That afternoon, we went to a community hall fundraiser because my mother wanted to show her face there. She ran her salon like it was a social club. People listened to her. I liked that. I liked being her daughter in a room full of faces. The community hall smelled like coffee and printed flyers. A local band played soft music. Volunteers walked around with clipboards. There was a big table with raffle tickets and baskets. Families stood in groups, smiling like everything was simple. My mother hugged me and said I looked great. She asked where Ethan was. I pointed and she waved at him like he worked for her. Ethan nodded politely. My mother asked if he was still acting cheap. I said he was trying to control our life with numbers. She shook her head like he was embarrassing her. Ethan's mother, Diane, arrived later with Ethan's father. Diane hugged Ethan and then me, but she held me for less time. I noticed. I told myself she was being petty. Ethan's father asked Ethan if he was okay. Ethan said he was fine. Ethan's father looked at me like he wanted to say something, but he did not. Janelle found us and started talking loud. She told my mother that I was carrying the marriage on my back. My mother laughed and said, a woman like me deserved a man who provided. I watched Ethan's face. He stayed calm. He did not argue. He did not defend himself. I wanted him to defend himself so I could call him rude. A woman from the fundraiser committee came over and asked what Ethan did for work. Ethan said he worked in IT and managed projects. She said that sounded important. Before Ethan could say more, I stepped in. I said he did basic tech stuff and liked to keep things simple. I said it with a smile, like I was helping. Ethan looked at me, and his eyes went still. He asked why I cut him down in front of people. I said I was just explaining. He said explaining was not the same as belittling. I said he was sensitive again. Janelle pulled out her phone and said she wanted a quick video for her story. She said it would be funny to ask couples what they wanted in a partner. She pointed the phone at me first. I leaned in and said I wanted ambition and generosity. Then she pointed it at Ethan. Ethan said he wanted respect and calm. People nearby laughed like it was a joke. I laughed too, but I felt a tightness in my chest. His words sounded like a warning. My mother asked Ethan why he could not just give me what I wanted. Ethan said he wanted us to be safe. My mother said safe sounded boring. I said boring was a deal breaker. Ethan asked if I even heard myself. I said yes, and I said I was being honest. Later, while people bought raffle tickets, I watched Ethan stand near the wall by himself. He checked his phone and swiped away a missed call with no caller ID. He did it like it was nothing. Then I heard a soft beep from his phone, like a sound that came and went fast. He looked up and saw me watching. He slid the phone into his pocket. I walked over and asked what he was doing. He said he was just checking something. I asked if he was hiding things now. He asked if I was projecting. I said he was trying to make me feel guilty again. He said he was not trying to make me feel anything. On the way home, I talked about how rude his parents were being. I said Diane was judging me. Ethan asked why I thought everything was an attack. I said because people did attack me. He said maybe people reacted to what I did. I said he was blaming me for their behavior. When we got home, he did not go to the couch or to our room right away. He went to the hallway desk and opened the drawer. I heard the soft sound of paper moving. Then I heard that small click again, like the drawer locked. He walked past me and washed his hands, like he needed to clean something off. He asked if I was happy with how the day went. I said yes, because people finally saw what I dealt with. He asked if I wanted a marriage or a performance. I said I wanted a real life. He said a real life had consequences. I went to bed telling myself he was exaggerating. I told myself I was only asking for what I deserved. Still, in the dark, I kept thinking about his words at the fundraiser, and how the room laughed, and how he did not laugh with them. Sunday dinner at the family restaurant was supposed to calm things down. That was what I told everyone. I said we needed a long table and warm food and normal talk. I said it like I was the peacemaker. In my head, I wanted something else. I wanted witnesses. I wanted both families to see Ethan as the problem, so my choices would look like a reaction, not a cause. We arrived early. The restaurant had dim lights and a long wooden table in the back. I chose that table on purpose. It made people sit close. It made escape harder. My mother, Sharon, came in wearing a bright coat and a loud smile. She kissed my cheek and asked if Ethan was going to behave. I said he would try. Ethan stood up, shook her hand, and said hello in a steady voice. My mother rolled her eyes like he was acting. She liked saying men acted when they were quiet. My father, Keith, came behind her and gave a small nod. He asked how work was. I said work was fine, but home was stressful. Ethan asked what I meant by stressful. I said he knew. He said he wanted specifics. I said he wanted to cross-examine me. He said he wanted clarity. Tara arrived next, holding her phone like she was ready to take notes. She asked if I was okay. I said I was fine. She asked if I was really fine. I said she was being dramatic. Ethan's parents came in last. Diane hugged Ethan first. Then she hugged me, but it felt careful, like she was touching something hot. We sat down. Menus opened and closed. Water glasses clinked. The first minutes felt polite, which always makes me nervous. Polite is a thin wall. It can break fast. My mother started the dinner by talking about a client at her salon and how women should never shrink. She looked at Ethan and said a husband should not make his wife feel small. Ethan asked when he did that. My mother said by saying no to things that matter. Ethan asked what things mattered. She said comfort, travel, nice clothes, nice dinners. I nodded, like I was proving a point. Ethan asked if we could keep money out of family dinner. I said he was the one who brought money up all the time. He said I brought money up in public and at home and made it a weapon. I said weapon was a strong word. He said words did not have to be loud to hurt. Tara asked me if I was spending more than we could afford. I laughed and asked why she was suddenly an accountant. She said she was my sister and she cared. I said caring did not mean interrogating. Ethan asked Tara not to get pulled into it. Tara said she was already pulled in because I called her crying last week. I felt my face get hot. I said that call was private. Tara said I told her Ethan could not afford my lifestyle. My mother made a sound like a laugh and said it was true. Keith looked down at the table. Ethan asked if Tara remembered the rest of what I said. Tara said I also said I did not sign up for a small life. I stared at Tara like she betrayed me. I said she took my words out of context. Tara asked what the context was. I said the context was years of feeling unseen. Ethan asked how buying things made me seen. I said he was twisting it again. Diane cleared her throat. She asked Ethan if he wanted to step outside for air. Ethan said he was fine. Robert, Ethan's father, asked Ethan if he was sleeping okay. Ethan said he slept when he could. That line landed heavy on the table. My mother asked if he was playing the victim now. Ethan said he was not playing anything. I tried to steer the talk back to safer topics. I asked about Mia's school project. Mia sat at the end of the table with crayons and a kids' menu. She looked up at me and then at Ethan like she was measuring our faces. Diane asked Mia what she learned at school. Mia said they learned about weather. Then she asked, very plain, if storms ended. No one answered right away. I forced a smile and said, storms always ended. Ethan looked at Mia and said, storms ended, but people still had to clean up after. Diane's eyes went wet for a second, then she blinked hard. My mother said Ethan was being dramatic in front of a child. Ethan said he was answering a question. I said he was trying to make Mia feel sorry for him. Ethan asked why I always assumed the worst about him. I said because he always tried to guilt me. Ethan said guilt only worked if there was something to feel guilty about. That made my stomach tighten. I did not like that kind of line. It sounded like a door closing. After dinner, Tara walked with me toward the restroom. She asked quietly if there was someone else. I laughed and asked if she watched too many shows. She said I was acting different and hiding my phone. I said every adult hid their phone sometimes. She said that was not an answer. I said she was being paranoid, like Ethan. When we returned to the table, Ethan's phone buzzed. He glanced at it and slid it under his palm. I only saw a contact name that looked like an emoji. Just a small symbol, no name. He turned the screen down. My heart jumped even though I had no right to be shocked. I told myself he was doing it to mess with me. I told myself he was creating drama. On the way out, Diane did not hug me. She kissed Mia's hair and told Ethan to call her if he needed anything. I heard the words and felt anger rise. I wanted to be the one people offered help to. I wanted to be the one in need. Monday came fast. In the school pickup line, cars crawled forward like tired animals. Parents stared ahead, scrolling on phones. Ethan parked behind me because he said it was easier for Mia. He asked if we could keep things calm for her. I said I was always calm. He said calm did not mean quiet. I said he was doing that thing where he sounded reasonable, so I looked crazy. Mia ran out with her backpack bouncing. She went to Ethan first and grabbed his hand. She did not even look at me. That hurt in a sharp, childish way. I told myself Ethan coached her. I told myself he was turning her against me. Ethan asked Mia how school was. Mia said it was fine. Then she asked if Dad was sleeping in the guest room because Mom was mad. Ethan said adults sometimes needed space. Mia asked if it was her fault. Ethan said no, never. I wanted to jump in, but my throat closed. In the car, Mia asked if we were getting divorced. I said no because I hated that word. Ethan did not answer right away. He said they were working on being respectful. Mia asked what respectful meant. Ethan said it meant telling the truth and being kind. I felt my face tighten. Truth and kind. Those words sounded like traps. At home that evening, Ethan moved through the kitchen like a guest. He rinsed his mug and set it far from mine again. He opened his laptop for a minute, then closed it when I entered. The printer in the hallway made a small noise, like it tried to wake up, then stopped. The air smelled faintly like toner. I asked him what he was doing. He said he was organizing some household stuff. I asked why he needed to organize now. He said because it was time. I said he was acting cold. He said he was acting careful. I told myself he was trying to punish me. I told myself he was the one changing, not me. Still, when I walked past the guest room, I saw the bedspread, rumpled like someone had turned in the night, and I felt something like fear. It was not fear of him. It was fear of a system I could not charm. The week after the restaurant felt thick, like the air in the house had changed. Ethan still went to work. I still went to work. We still packed Mia's lunch. But the rhythm was wrong. It was like a song where someone kept skipping a beat. I tried to act normal on purpose. I talked louder in the kitchen. I played music while I got ready. I said I was fine, and I said it like a rule everyone had to follow. Ethan did not fight me anymore. That was the part that bothered me most. He stopped asking the same questions. He stopped reacting to my small jabs. He started doing quiet things instead. One night, I walked past the hallway desk and heard a shredder hum for a few seconds, then stop. I asked what he was shredding. He said old mail. I asked why he was doing it at night. He said it was a good time to organize. I said he was being secretive. He said he was being tidy. Another night, I saw his laptop open with a clean file tree. I only saw the top line before he tilted the screen. It said Archive A and Archive B. I asked what that was. He said it was just storage. I said he was acting like a robot. He said he was acting like an adult. At work, Grant kept finding reasons to message me. He asked if I was okay. I said I was stressed. He asked if Ethan was still tight. I said yes. He said he hated men who acted like fathers. I said me too. Grant said I could come by a hotel lounge near his route for a drink. I said I could not. He said I deserved fun. I told myself I did not do anything wrong by liking the attention. I told myself my marriage felt lonely, so I had a right to feel wanted somewhere else. Janelle also kept feeding it. She asked if Ethan finally learned his place. I said he was still difficult. She said a difficult man needed consequences. I liked that word when she said it. Consequences. It sounded strong. I started using my phone as a shield. When Ethan walked into a room, I looked down at my screen. When he asked how my day was, I said it was fine and kept typing. He asked who I was talking to. I said work. He asked why work texted so late. I said healthcare never slept. He nodded like he was taking notes in his head. On Friday, I needed groceries for Mia's school snack day. I also wanted a few expensive items because I was tired of feeling limited. I drove to the supermarket with my chin up. I told myself I would not be embarrassed by a number on a screen. At the checkout, I loaded the belt with fruit, yogurt, and a few things I did not need, like imported chocolate and fancy sparkling water. The cashier smiled and asked if I found everything. I said yes, like I always did. When she scanned the last item, she told me the total. It was higher than I expected, but I did not flinch. I tapped the joint card like it was nothing. The machine beeped. Then it beeped again. The cashier's smile changed. She said the card did not go through. She asked if I wanted to try again. I said yes, too fast. I tried again. Another beep. the screen showed a message I hated. Declined. People behind me shifted. A man cleared his throat. A child in another cart stared at my bags. I felt heat rise in my face. The cashier asked if I had another card. I said I did. I dug through my wallet with shaking fingers. I tried my personal card. It declined too. The cashier said maybe the system was down. I knew it was not down. I grabbed my phone and called Ethan right there. He did not answer. I called again. No answer. I texted and wrote that it was urgent. I wrote that he was humiliating me. I wrote that he needed to fix it now. The cashier asked, gently, if I wanted to set some items aside. I said no. I said I would handle it. I tried tapping again, like the machine would feel sorry for me. It did not. In the end, I told her to remove the extra items. I kept the basics for Mia. I felt like everyone in line could see my whole life on that screen. I walked out holding one thin bag, like a person I did not recognize. In the parking lot, Ethan finally texted back. He said he was not available for calls while he was driving. He said we could discuss finances later. He said if it was an emergency, I should use my own funds. I stared at his message. My hand shook. I typed back that he was being cruel. I typed that a real husband would protect his wife from shame. I typed that he was punishing me. He replied that he was not punishing me. He said he was setting boundaries. He said he would only talk about money in a structured way. He said he did not want any more public scenes. That line made me furious. Public scenes were my tool. They were how I made him look bad. They were how I made myself look like the only one trying. When I got home, the driveway looked too clean. Ethan's car was backed in and pointed toward the street like it could leave fast. That small detail hit me harder than it should have. It felt planned. Inside, the garage shelves were neat. A box was labeled household. Another box was labeled utilities. I did not remember those labels being there before. A faint smell of toner hung in the air, like the printer had been busy. I walked into the kitchen and set the grocery bag down harder than I needed to. Ethan was at the counter rinsing a mug. He did not jump. He did not ask what was wrong. He just finished what he was doing, like he was in no rush to meet my emotions. I asked why the card declined. He said the bank flagged some charges. I asked what charges. He said repeated ones, and late ones, and ones that did not match our plan. I asked what plan. He said the plan. We talked about many times. I said we never agreed on any plan. He said he wrote it down and asked me to join. I said writing things down did not make them real. He asked if I wanted to sit and go through it. I said no. I said he was acting like a judge. He said he was acting like someone who wanted to keep a roof over Mia's head. I said that was manipulative. He said it was responsible. I told him he embarrassed me at the store. He said he was not at the store. I said his choices were there. He said my choices were there too. I started pacing. I told him he could not pull support and then pretend it was boundaries. He said he did not pull support from Mia. He said Mia would have what she needed. He said extras would be discussed. I said my life was not extras. He said my spending was. I asked if he enjoyed seeing me struggle. He said no. He said he did not enjoy any of it. He said he was tired. I said he was tired because he refused to step up. He said he stepped up every day, and I still insulted him. I accused him of trying to control me. He asked what I called it when I used shame to get what I wanted. I said he was twisting things. He said he was naming them. Mia walked in quietly and looked between us. Ethan lowered his voice right away and asked her if she finished her homework. She said yes. He said good job. Then he told her to go wash up for bed. She left without a word, and the silence after felt heavy. Ethan went to the hallway desk and opened the drawer. I heard paper shift. I heard the soft click again when it closed. He came back with his keys in his hand. There was a new key on the ring, shiny and unfamiliar. I asked what that was for. He said it was for something practical. I asked what practical meant. He said it meant planning ahead. I tried one last push. I told him if he could not afford my lifestyle, then maybe he did not deserve me. I expected anger. I expected a fight. I expected him to beg me to stay. He looked at me for a long moment. Then he asked if I was done. I said I was being honest. He said honesty did not erase responsibility. He took a slow breath. He said he would not argue anymore. He said he would handle it properly. Monday morning, I walked into the office like I could reset everything with posture. I wore my best jacket. I told myself Ethan's properly line was just another calm threat, like when people say they will think about it and never do. I kept repeating that he needed me more than I needed him. Sophie at the front desk asked if I was okay. I said I was tired but fine. Grant texted and asked if I wanted to escape tonight. I said maybe. I liked how maybe sounded when it was my choice. Around noon, I went down to the office tower lobby to grab a delivery from the mail table. The lobby smelled like coffee and floor polish. People walked fast with badges and phones. I saw Ethan near the glass doors. He stood straight, hands empty, face quiet. He did not block me. He did not raise his voice. He just waited like he had an appointment. I walked up like I was not surprised. I asked why he was here. He said he was handling it properly. I said he was being dramatic at my job. He said he would not discuss it there. A woman in business clothes stepped toward me and asked if I was Orual Bennett. I said yes. She said she had documents for me and asked me to confirm my name. I said I did not accept anything. She said she did not need my permission, only my identity. People slowed down. 2 co-workers stopped near the elevator. I felt my cheeks burn. I told myself Ethan did this to shame me. I told myself that was abuse, even if he did not touch me. The woman placed a thick envelope against my hand and said I had been served. She said the papers included a divorce filing and temporary financial orders. She said there was also a civil claim for reimbursement for debts in my name that I pushed on to shared funds. She said the amount was listed inside. Ethan did not smile. He did not look pleased. He looked tired, like he finally set down a heavy box. I snapped that he was trying to ruin me. He said he was trying to stop the ruin. I said he could have talked to me. He said he did talk, many times, and I laughed. Janelle called right then, as if she sensed drama. I answered and told her, loudly, that Ethan was attacking me. She asked what he did. I said he served me at work like I was a criminal. Ethan heard and said I was not a criminal. He said it was a legal process. Sophie whispered if I needed water. I said no, I needed respect. I turned to Ethan and said he could not afford my lifestyle, and now he wanted to punish me for it. He said he was not responsible for my lifestyle. He said he was responsible for Mia's stability. I tried to walk away, but my hands shook around the envelope. My eyes caught words on the first page. I saw account numbers. I saw dates. I saw a list of purchases with store names I recognized. I saw my own signature on a store card line. I told myself it could be explained. Ethan asked if I wanted to keep Mia's schedule normal. I said he was using our child like a shield. He said he was using the law to keep her life calm. He said exchanges would be at the school pickup line for now, and only short messages about Mia. He said everything else would go through the proper channel. I said he was cold. He said he was careful. 2 days later, I stood in a courthouse lobby holding the same envelope, now bent at the corners. The building felt too bright and too quiet at the same time. Tara came with me because my mother insisted I should not look weak. My mother waited outside, pacing like she wanted to fight a wall. Ethan stood across the lobby with Diane. Mia was not there. I noticed that right away. Ethan had protected her from this room. That made me mad because it made him look like the good parent. A clerk called our names. Ethan stepped forward when asked. I stepped forward when asked. The clerk spoke in a flat voice and confirmed the temporary orders. The clerk said the court accepted the filing and the temporary financial limit started immediately. The clerk said Ethan was not responsible for new debt in my name. The clerk said the civil claim for reimbursement was filed, and a temporary freeze on moving joint funds without written agreement was in place. I tried to interrupt and said the debt was for our life. The clerk said the listed accounts were opened under my name and tied to my spending history. The clerk said the initial amount requested for reimbursement was the full total shown on the schedule. Then the clerk read the number out loud. I heard Tara